ever wonder why you're here? I mean, why you're really here on God's green earth? Today, that's what this discussion is going to be about. Accepting the assignment. Hashtag God did. Honestly, I think about this so much. Why am I here? What is my purpose? What am I meant to be doing during my 80 to 90 years, hopefully more, on this earth? To be honest, I think that there's a reason. I think that there's a reason for us all. But specifically for me, I know that there's a higher purpose. There's some true reason why I am here, and that is going to be our discussion today. I think the first thing to think about is, number one, making the right choices and decisions for you, not for anybody else. Because I'm pretty sure you have not just yourself to worry about. I'm sure you have a spouse, children, even your parents that you may be caring for, or even in-laws. It is time for you to take back your life, sis. You have to do what makes you happy. Sure, I'm not saying disregard your family's needs and their wants and desires, but you cannot forget about your desires and your wants and your needs in order to care for other people. Because in the long run, you're going to be the one that's burnt out, tired. It's definitely time for you to start finding you again. And if you don't know where to start, only thing I do is start with him. It's the only thing you got to do. Step one is to let go and let God. For me, I think one of the things that I have to think about and I have to learn is to recognize God's to-do list for my life. And what I mean by that is to see what it is that he has in store for me, his plan and his purpose for me, and figure out a way to listen to him, to hear his word, so that I can then fulfill his need in seeing me succeed and to seeing me give back and be fruitful to the earth. And to be honest, y'all, I don't even know how to listen to God. I know people say, well, they hear him, they might be doing something that they shouldn't be doing, and they'll hear him speak to them, or maybe trying to make a decision between A and B, and God tells them to choose B. I don't hear that. I don't know if it's supposed to be intuition. I don't know what people categorize it as, if they truly do hear. I have no idea, but I'm not there yet. I want to be there, but I'm not there yet. So I think that figuring out how to approach God's to-do list, that's kind of where I am today. Some people say they can listen to and hear such vivid conversations, have vivid conversations with God. And I'm just like, how? How does that really work? How does one become so in tune with themselves and with the spirit realm and all of these things, and God can lead them on a path of righteousness and all else is forsaken? That's something I'm trying to learn for myself. And I think, like I said, the first thing is learning how to hear him speak and how to speak to him. Don't just pray. I don't just pray when things are going bad. I pray when things are going great. I am gracious of the things that the Lord has afforded me. And I'm not saying I'm living large or anything like that, but just being able to walk, being able to see. I have issues with my eye right now, but the fact that I can still see is a blessing in itself. The fact that it hasn't even gotten worse, thank God, is a blessing in itself. So I'm learning to listen to the little bitty things and paying attention to the things that we all take for granted, and truly coming to terms with, my life is not so bad. It's not. My life is great. I am blessed beyond measure. There are people who don't have food in the refrigerator. There are people, I'm vegan. I don't eat meat. I don't eat dairy. Who has that luxury they can say, well, I have a cabinet and a refrigerator full of food and I don't eat meat or dairy? That is a lot of options that are completely deleted from my diet, which means I'm probably spending more money on other things, right? Because things are fruits and vegetables and all that, nuts, all that, extremely, extremely expensive. I have running water. I have heat. I have AC. I have these things. I have a bed. I have books galore. I have these things in my possession. I wouldn't have them without God, right? So all these little things that I have that add up to a bigger purpose, a bigger picture, that's something, like I said, that's something that I am on a daily basis being thankful and gracious for no matter what. I wholeheartedly believe that if I keep going, if I keep putting in 100% effort, that I will be shown the way. And I believe that. I know that I am a light. I know that I have so much to give, so much positivity oozing from my body. If I could just have all of the resources that I desire, I will be able to give so much to so many people. What I mean by that is the Scholarship Foundation, the going to different high schools or colleges and speaking to them and getting them to understand you don't have to stop. You don't have to actually even go to college. Now, pause. If you want to go to college, go to college. But don't let that be the end all be all of your life. Getting a degree or not getting a degree will not define you. You define you based on your values, your morals, what do you believe in, what do you stand for, your purpose, your mission in life. That is what's going to define you, not a diploma, okay? Not a degree. So don't get so caught up in those things. But what I want to do is to share what I have, my gifts and my talents to the world. I want to be able to speak to the masses. And that's actually something that I'm truly afraid of. And not that many people know that I want to be on stages and speaking and educating and providing inspiration and insight into nursing and things of that nature. Not that many people know. So YouTube, y'all get all access pass for this top tier information. Okay? Your girl gotcha. I also want to purchase homes, buildings for people who are having a tough time. The system is ridiculous, y'all. I want to be able to provide some type of support for them. So if I can have a community where I have a whole block, literally God's talking to me, I have a whole block. Oh, I said that. God's talking to me. Wow. Thank you, Lord. That was crazy. that was bizarre just now. But if I can have a whole block, a community where I provide housing in a walkable, safe neighborhood, sidewalk, grass, a playground, you know, maybe even in their community, you may have a grocery store, a gas station, whatever the case may be. But if I can provide that for people who are struggling, for the people who are on the streets, who, especially when it's cold and rainy or crazy, stupid hot outside, if I can provide that for them, give them supplies, the toiletries, the AC, the heat, the water, a simple shower goes a long way. Just the things, the tools that we need as a human to survive, my work is done. My work is done. I have so many different things in my head, y'all, that I want to do. I want to be able to provide for others. I just don't have the tools at this moment to do so. And I just want to let you guys know that you have to find, number one, like I said, make the right choices. But then number two, you got to get that to-do list from God. And I believe this is my to-do list. I believe that me wanting to elevate at my position now, like I said, I run orientation department for a large organization. I want to run a complete service line for multiple hospitals within that system. And I never thought, ask me 6 months ago, I would have said no. Actually, I did say no. I was asked about this, a different position, having a service line up under my belt. And I said, no, that's not for me. But if you ask me today, I'm going to say yes. I don't know what switch turned off or turned on or what have you. But 6 months ago, I was like, girl, stop. I'm not doing that. I don't want that job. But now I'm like, God is leading me to do something greater, to do something more, to do something for, like I said, the masses, and especially for my Black community. God, I just want to do so much for our people. It's so much craziness that's happening, that's been happening for decades, centuries, that I want to leave a positive footprint in the sand. That's a poem back in the day about Jesus. But I want to leave a positive footprint in the sand. I want to leave my imprint on earth. And I want people to say, when I'm gone, I want people to say that Shaquila did everything she could to support young nurses, especially our Black people, our community. Let it fill them so much to know that someone cared that much about them to want to assist and provide and to educate and to just be there. The true measure of success will be in the fruit that follows us. So when you are walking in God's footsteps, you are leading almost like a trail of breadcrumbs in your wake. And the people who follow you, and I don't mean social media, God, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the people who are 100% in tune with the things that you are trying to acquire or accomplish in the world, and the minds, the meeting of the minds, and they think alike, and they have the same or at least similar values and goals in life. They will come out of the woodworks. They will, if you're following behind God's footsteps, you're being obedient in Him. And when you're being obedient, you are caring for others. You are kind of reaching your hand to the side or to the back and pulling those up behind you or to the side of you, pulling them up alongside with you so they can bask in the glory of God as well. So, y'all, I could probably talk about this all day. All right, but I just had to quickly create this video because you got to learn how to accept the assignment. #God did. But you got to accept the assignment. Don't be so stuck on what people say and people think. I have people currently today who are not as nice as you would think that they should be. For whatever reason, people see you how they want to see you, and they don't get the full story. They don't understand what actually transpired in that situation or that event that caused them to not like you or for whatever reason, versus just saying, hey, let's sit down and have an adult conversation, because number one, we are adults and we are in an environment that requires us to be together on a frequent basis. But people don't think that way. So you cannot allow someone else's behavior to get you down. And that's something that I'm still learning. But you can allow their behavior to get you down or block your blessings. Because just because someone is being negative and ill will towards you does not mean you have to be that way towards them. Take the high road. Once you accept that assignment from God, God has expectations for you. And He has placed those things on your life for you and for you only. So stay steadfast. Stay on track. Read, listen to the Lord, hear His word, and you will be just fine. And social media has put so much into perspective. We don't know what people do when they cut those cameras off. They could seem like they're living the most lavish, extravagant life, going on vacation, have the best relationship. When they cut that camera off, they could be so depressed and just hurt and in their feelings. We would never know that. So don't put so much of how you behave and how you show up in the world and base that off of what someone is doing on social media. I didn't get Instagram until 2022. It's just now 2023. I didn't get it. I only got it mainly because of the Indigo Foundation, because I want to be visible and get people to my community and on my team. That's the main reason. I want to show up in the world how I want to show up in the world, not based on what someone's desires and expectations should be of me. I want to lay the groundwork for nurses coming up behind me. I want to show them that they could do all things, baby. They could do all the things that God has placed in front of them. That they are valuable, that they are loved, that they are honored and respected and appreciated. I want them to know that they can make such a difference in the city that they're in the state that they're in the world, and that there are no limits to how much they can give and provide of themselves to other people, and no limits on how far they can go as an individual and as a nurse. So one of these days, y'all will see me on stages talking about nursing, talking about education, growth, scholarship, inspiration. You will see me. And you're going to say, that girl spoke it into fruition because she followed behind our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. Hallelujah. Let me get off this thing. As always, if you want to support the Scholarship Foundation, the Indigo Foundation, please visit ifrn.org. We are definitely accepting donations. This is for giving our funds to young women of color in the state of Georgia who want to go to nursing school. Go ahead and check that out. We also have a couple PDFs on there as well. If you are new to nursing or want to become a nurse, check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate your views, your comments, and your likes, but I will see you in this video next.